The single biggest theme in today's market, AI infrastructure. GPUs have become gold. AI data centers are now being called AI factories. And margins are so lofty that the largest tech titans are now racing to design their own chips. So why are Nvidia and Broadcom the two largest positions in my portfolio? Well, let's start with the obvious. Every major tech company, from cloud computing behemoths to autonomous vehicle startups, now require specialized AI compute. The supply for this compute is driven by Nvidia and their AI factories. Nvidia's most recent quarter revealed that their data center segment grew to $44.1 billion, or 69% year over year. And this was driven almost entirely by the demand for their Blackwell and H100 GPUs. And while demand for Nvidia GPUs is immense, Broadcom isn't missing out on this theme. Broadcom is projected to grow its AI processor revenue at a CAGR of 43% over this next decade. This is due to hyperscale clients pouring billions into their custom AI ASICs, showing that building an AI factory isn't just about buying chips, it's about packaging, interconnects, and the ability to help these hyperscalers scale. Therefore, the companies that control this infrastructure, being Nvidia and Broadcom, are the ones everyone has to pay in order to play. Now, as I've noted before, Nvidia doesn't just sell GPUs or chips, they sell entire AI factories. In the latest quarter, they doubled the amount of facilities dedicated to AI compute. And they also doubled the chip output per facility, all while ensuring a steady product pipeline all the way through 2028. Now, because inference workloads demand hundreds to even thousands of times more compute than generative AI, every AI model, whether for reasoning, video generation, or robotics, runs best through NVIDIA GPUs. Therefore, this has helped NVIDIA become essentially the Intel of AI, meaning that if they control the silicon, they control the data center. And with 71.3% gross margins, they are printing cash at a level not many tech companies can match. Here's where it does get interesting. NVIDIA's profitability is so extreme that their largest customers, including Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta, are trying to find ways to develop their own AI chips to help recapture some of that margin. But these in-house efforts still require a fabless partner that's going to help them with the cutting-edge packaging, testing, and interconnect. That's because designing a chip is one thing, manufacturing, validating, and scaling it into production is a whole nother thing. Therefore, even as these hyperscalers try to go off and design their own chips, they remain dependent on a second supplier, which is Broadcom, in order to be able to put these blueprints into actual wafer-ready silicon. Therefore, Broadcom sits squarely between hyperscalers and cutting-edge AI silicon. Broadcom's custom AI ASICs deliver 10 times greater energy efficiency for their top clients such as Google, Meta, and ByteDance. Because Broadcom pioneered 2nm 3D packaged XPUs, allowing the stacking of chip layers vertically. This essentially allows them to do an insane amount of compute quicker and with less power required. Therefore, when a hyperscale customer decides that they want to take on Nvidia and design their own chips to recapture that margin, they still require Broadcom's ASIC expertise, locking Broadcom into multi-billion-dollar, multi-year deals with the largest AI players. When you put it all together, you get a tremendous flywheel that is incredibly hard to disrupt. NVIDIA builds and equips AI factories with their GPUs. Hyperscalers spend so much money on NVIDIA GPUs that they try as best as they can to design their own chips to recapture some of that spend and some of that margin. Therefore, they contract Broadcom for their advanced packaging and integration. Then Broadcom's custom ASICs end up sitting alongside NVIDIA's GPUs in these AI factories to bring it all together. As noted by many hyperscalers, they're going to require both NVIDIA GPUs and try to rely on their own infrastructure to help bring them together to create these factories. And because both NVIDIA and Broadcom's tech is so advanced and their margins are so large, it becomes very challenging for any upstart to try to challenge them. Therefore, my portfolio's two largest positions in NVIDIA and Broadcom aren't just bets on AI, they are the very gatekeepers of AI infrastructure in a world where compute is king. So all in all, NVIDIA owns the GPU market, and this allows them to enjoy over 70% margins. So big that its customers end up wanting a piece of this action as well, so they tried building in-house chip production. Broadcom then steps in to help support these hyperscalers and big tech companies design their own custom chips. Together, they enjoy a nice competitive moat. Nvidia ensures that the hyperscalers can't live without the GPUs, and Broadcom ensures that these hyperscalers can't make these custom chips without their support. So in the great theme of AI infrastructure, the paths end up coming back to these two great companies, Nvidia and Broadcom. And this is why these two companies are my two largest positions. So drop your comments below. What are the largest positions in your portfolio and why? And as always, like and subscribe for more content and more context.